Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Gyan Bhakti. Today we are going to start a beautiful scripture, Mysticism of Mahabharata. So it is with divine grace and our Guru's blessing that we have completed the holy scripture Mysticism of Srimad Bhagavatam, and today we are starting Mysticism of Mahabharata, a great act of divine grace. Our humble prostrations to our worshipful Gurudev, Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj. His commentary is the one we will be using for Mysticism of Mahabharata and narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. So let's get started invoking God, thanking our Guru, and starting this holy scripture. It starts with an invocatory prayer. It says, Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. With humble prostrations to Lord Narayana, Krishna, and to Nara, Arjuna, who are the best of men, as well as to Goddess Saraswati and to Sage Vyasa, one should commence the exposition of this work known as Jaya. Jaya, victory. Whenever the Mahabharata is studied, this invocation of divine grace is traditionally recited. As the prayer reveals, this great scripture written by Sage Vyasa is referred to as victory. Through its captivating stories and profound philosophical insights, the Mahabharata portrays the soul's journey to enlightenment, the ultimate victory, wherein the ego is shed and the soul becomes established in its prime and pristine glory of Brahman, the absolute self. And that is the journey we will be taking together. Imagine the exhilaration of a person who has been living in a barren desert, and he is suddenly transported to a lush land where he sees abundance of greenery, flowery waterfalls, crystal clear lakes, and snow capped mountains. Such is the experience of an aspirant who enters into the study of the Mahabharata with a properly disciplined mind and a receptive attitude. So I hope you can find this discipline and nectar, rasa, within yourself, where you commit yourself to listening to these daily holy satsangas, which are so rare in this transient world where we are constantly running around after material objects. Just a little bit of your time will gradually transport you into that luscious landscape. The Mahabharata is a magnificent mystic land in which we are led to roam in one forest of philosophy after another, to dive in sport in one river of mystical profundity after another. Further, in this journey, we are led into the most wondrous lake of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which comprises the pure distilled waters of the teachings of Mahabharata and reflects the mountainous heights of Vedic wisdom, from which the vista of self realization blazes like the risen sun. So Bhagavad Gita comes from this scripture. It is in the section of Bhishma Parva where this advice was given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna, as you well know. So the very theme of the Mahabharata is the attainment of self-realization or victory in the battle of life. In this battle that rages daily in the heart of every individual, the forces of light constantly struggle against the forces of darkness, the forces of knowledge against the forces of ignorance. To be victorious in this battle means to attain the goal of life, liberation, and during one's own this very life. Human embodiment is a rare blessing, and we are blessed to have this and to walk on this holy journey. Yato dharma tato jaya. Wherever there is dharma, there is victory. That is the ringing note of all scriptures and the central theme of the Mahabharata. If we have truly lived our life on the basis of righteousness, we will be led to victory, which is liberation or freedom from the cycles of birth and death. To deliver this profound message in a way that would captivate the human mind, the Mahabharata presents a central story about the conflict between two family lines, the Pandavas and their cousins, the Kauravas, and shows how Arjuna, led by Krishna, attained victory over the Kauravas. In addition to this central story, numerous other side stories have been introduced. These stories are so simple that they can delight and entertain even young children. Yet they are so profound that great scholars have become wrapped in thought while delving deep into those stories to discover their deeper mystical meaning. So, this scripture is for the entire family, everybody, all generations. Further, the Mahabharata gives insight into how to handle difficult circumstances in life, which we all face. This is a reality of our human life. By studying how great men handle the various problems presented before them in the scripture, one gains insight into how to confront the confusing circumstances in his own life. So it's a teaching scripture with morals, values, lessons. In addition to these behavioral examples woven into the stories of the Mahabharata, the scripture is rich in direct instruction for building one's life on a foundation of righteousness or dharma. Sage Vyasa, who composed the Mahabharata, says, in relation to the four great goals of life, the four great goals: Dharma, meaning ethical goals; Artha, material goals; Kama, social goals; and Moksha, spiritual goals. All that is needed for a person to know has been given in the Mahabharata. So, all these four goals can be attained if we have a pure heart and we listen to this scripture. What is not in the Mahabharata cannot be found anywhere else. In other words, if you have lived your life according to the teachings of the Mahabharata and your Artha and Kama have been based on Dharma, then even in our lifetime we will be led to moksha or liberation. So this is a very realistic goal that we are trying to set for ourselves, provided we are sincere and in purifying ourselves. While the Mahabharata enacts the drama of life in all its majesty and in all its mystery, this unique scripture is also a powerful promoter of that special vision of mystic detachment that allows one to view life as if he and those around him were actors on a stage. Meaning, look at all of this as a cosmic play. To the wise, this world is a great stage upon which souls merely play different transient roles that they have chosen for themselves in the unfoldment of their karma. On the stage, actors may play the roles of terrible enemies, but when they are rehearsing or just relaxing, they no longer uphold the values they maintain while acting. It is all a show. Similarly, the various events that occur in your life, the various interactions with people who seem to be friends or foes, all are superficial. Inwardly, you and those you interact with are the immutable and eternal divine self, untouched by all the human dramas. So, with this, we conclude our satsang for today, and with God's blessings, we have started this new holy journey, and we will continue this mysticism of Mahabharata in our daily satsangs. I will see you tomorrow. This is Swami Nikhilanand. Om Tat Sat.